it, she will say, I need sympathy. Right? Now,
Right.
she got Nick to do it, but Nick doesn't get that same,
Right.
you know.
That's
I
where
killed her to save my life, but he killed her to save your life. Why isn't that the same thing?
Right. Right. That's what kills me is just the lack of, like, the fucking narcissistic mentality that she has, where she has absolutely zero sympathy for, like, he saved you is
Right.
how, like, that whole story is going. Why would you not have sympathy for the fact that he saved you and now he gets to live the rest of his life in prison?
But
And-
now
and-
she's saying that he didn't save her. There's some interviews where
Well, now she's coming out and saying, "Oh, I wish my mom is still here. I wish she would
Right.
never died."
no, she's changed it up about Nick saving her.
Well, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I wish my mom would have never died.
I wish he wouldn't have killed her, basically. is
I
what he's
wish he
saying.
wouldn't have killed her. I wish she wouldn't. If I could go back, she would still be alive right now. But that would kill your whole story, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't slay the monster and the monster's still alive, you're it's stupid. Somebody's telling her, she's either getting bad advice of saying that, which I don't know why. She's free from prison. She can say whatever the fuck she wants to.
Right.
I don't think she's got a media person.
But well, maybe she's just stupid and don't think this way. Maybe she legitimately in her head thinks, I'm going to place all the blame on her where I can be the true hero. Like, there's people in my corner, but now I'm going to be the ultimate hero. Maybe that's what she's saying.
Maybe it's a tactic to try to get more sympathy, because, like,
Yeah.
people will look at her like more innocently if she still wishes her mom was around. Like, oh, like it's an attention seeking thing, I think.
And it's a way to say, see, Nick is the one that really wanted to kill her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously she wanted to set Nick up from the jump. That's why she posted that Facebook
Trying to
post,
sound like him.
Trying to
Yeah.
sound like
Yeah.
him.
I mean, God, the way she treated that dude, it should be a crime within itself.
I mean, it's just the sad, typical story of a man foolishly falling in love and being manipulated.
Well, this is different because he has mental illness. Like, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no different than what Dee Dee. Well, it's a little bit different because from the get-go, Gypsy never had any mental disorders.
Right.
Gypsy just played along out of fear of repercussions for not playing along.
Yeah.
Rather than playing along and legitimately thinking, I need, I'm like this.
Right.
And so many people in relationships, a man can control a woman, and if he beats the shit out of the woman can feel like, oh, it's my fault, I'm causing it, stuff like that. And it's the same way. You get a man, and a woman can do the same thing to a man. A man, they can use their unconditional love against them, like, oh, so-and-so is trying to talk to me. I think you need to go over there and talk to him,
Mm-hmm.
And then it escalates from there, and somebody ends up in prison or somebody ends up in the hospital or something else, and the whole time, it never fucking happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
all of this shit is true. Humans are not good people.
No.
Like, humans are not good people. As long as you have humans, you're going to have human emotions. And a part of those emotions are lying, cheating, manipulating. And as good as we have it as humans, and as good qualities that we have just as many bad qualities. And those bad qualities come out just as much as the good qualities, if not more so.
Yeah. That's
Unfortunately.
And,
so
this is just this is a story about a bad person treating somebody bad, and then the person that got treated bad treated somebody else bad, and now that person is
paying the consequences.
Oh, the key word is bad. Everybody's bad and scat.
Scat.
well, I don't think Nick is a bad person.
No,
He
he's
just
not,
did
I
a
don't
bad
think,
thing.
I don't think he's a bad person, but not to sound like a fucking detective, which is exactly what you sounded like. I don't think you're bad. You just did a bad thing.
I mean,
No, he's fucking. He needs help. He needs help.
he does.
He needs
He's
help.
mentally not well.
And I don't think
Right.
I don't think that he's getting the proper help. If we look at prison as a true rehabilitation center, he's not going to get what he needs. You know that well because you're a prison guard in real life, so you know this type of stuff.
Boy, that is a black hole. Speaking from that aspect, they do get treated. They are separated, like a particular prison. You can have what is called a SAMS pod. That is your mental health pod. That's where they stick all your mental health individuals. You normally get treated for any disorders that you have, but I believe that there's a lot of misdiagnosis in the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
And they also don't force people to take their medications. Like, they give them to you, but if you don't take them, you know,
That's on you, kind of thing.
that's on you kind of thing. I mean, there's documentation. Like, it's done the right way, but...
And don't you think that that's a little odd, considering the fact that we have hospitals here that have patients that are mentally disturbed, that are specifically looked after and made to take medication so they won't flip out and do shit like that? Don't you think it's a little odd that we have facilities like that? Some of those facilities are for violent mental patients as well, right?
We don't have psych wards anymore.
Well, I mean,
that's why we're at the point of where we're at.
Yeah,
is because they got rid of the psych wards.
well, that's what I was getting at. I mean, we don't have any psych wards at all.
Okay, well, actually, there's only 820 active psych hospitals in the United States right now.
The whole country.
The whole country, and that's what, short term.
Yep.
Yeah, so that means you kind of go there for a little bit, and then they're like, okay, you're good, you're medicated, get the fuck out of here. And
Right.
that's just fucking crazy.
So the majority of them get sent to just regular prison.
Yes, which is 1,566 state prisons, which is
So you got
fucking crazy.
You got the criminally insane mixed in with just criminals and regular.
People who are
That's-
evil because they're evil versus
Yeah.
people who have done bad things because they're mentally unwell.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me. You know why? Because I heard that they got rid of special education in schools as well. So, you know, there used to be a time period where you had advanced classes in school, you had regular classes, then you had special education classes, and then you had classes for physical and mental handicap disabilities.
right.
And it seems like now, that doesn't surprise me about the psych wards and stuff like that, because they have gotten rid of the special education, and they're mixed in with regular children, and the advanced are mixed in. It's like they're all mixed in, I guess, because they don't. Is it because they don't want to single anybody out, or
Pretty much.
or have they lost budget for these programs, or I guess a combination for all?
I would say that's an interesting question.
I
I'd
mean,
be curious to look into that.
It's probably a wide range of things.
I don't know.
You
about
have to have
guys.
you have to have certain special education teachers.
Yeah.
Is different from a regular
Well,
teacher.
now they got IEPs. Is that what they call them?
I think so.
Like back in the day, you know, we didn't have IEPs. It's just if you needed special care or special teaching, you had a special education class.
right.
And those classes wasn't necessarily for people that were socially or mentally underdeveloped. They just had a hard time retaining information. The people that had a hard time having social issues and stuff like that were the more severe handicap classes. So now, getting back to the prisons and stuff like that, it's the same thing. You have people that are mentally disturbed mixed in with people who just were violent criminals.
Right.
And
I think that's unfair for Nick.
I do think that's
He's not
unfair
going
for
to be
Nick.
treated like
I don't think he's going to get the attention that he deserves, or necessarily get treated the way he needs to be treated. But then again, if you have life in prison plus 25 years without the possibility of parole, I guess the state really doesn't give a shit anyway.
I guess.
No, pretty much. They're just pretty much, all right, you're guilty. Done.
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
thank you.
It seems to me that there were special cases. Wasn't there a thing that you could do where somebody was not guilty due to mental incompetence or something like that?
Plead insanity.
Does that still work? Insanity, yeah. Innocent by insanity or whatever.
I think it's still a thing.
I mean, well,
I'd imagine that they've probably made it very difficult to prove that.
right. And you would think that if that was still a plea option, then they would have special places for people that plea that way, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't go to regular prison.
Well, I think the thing that really throws off for Nick is he's not all there, but he's there enough to where they'll convict him.
Yeah, yeah. Like he knows how to conduct himself. He doesn't stick crayons up his ass and bend over a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, he's not sitting there, fighting the wall.
Well,
Right.
I told you this off podcast, but it's relevant. The George Carlin thing. He said there's the difference between somebody violent and somebody insane is somebody who violent will kill you with a hammer, but somebody who's insane will be wearing a fucking bunny suit when they do it.
Yes, he was very accurate and right about that. And I just kind of feel bad for Nick in this whole situation. And I shouldn't, because he killed somebody.
Yeah, he killed somebody, but we have to keep in mind that we truly, I think I speak for all three of us, that we truly believe that if it wasn't for the influence of Gypsy, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
Gypsy's trying to spin it where he's telling me that his fantasy is to kill somebody and he would have done it whether he met me or not.
And that's not true.
That's what she's trying to spin right now.
Right.
But I don't believe that's true. And I think anybody that can put themselves and put the pieces together can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, time will tell how this story ends, but I definitely don't think this is the end right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a modern day social media storm. Imagine back in the day, the O.J. Simpson thing and the Melendez brothers, all those big cases that came up during the 90s and stuff that did not have social media behind it, that was still huge. Now you got social media behind this whole thing where everybody's giving their opinions about things. So, as long as she keeps in the public eye, which I think her arrogance will be a while, I think we're going to have stuff to talk about. I mean, we probably will be revisiting this like something happened. Mm-hmm. She said something else, this happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next time that we talk about this, we can talk about Nick was granted his sentence was reduced or something. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years plus what he's already served.
We'll see. Hopefully, he gets some kind of justice because of freaking Gypsy Rose running her mouth. That's the only thing I can really hope for at this point.
I think the only thing that saves her is if she would become an advocate to really help him get a reduced sentence. I think that she would be back in favor with me if that is, but I don't think she's that kind of person. So.